stores in South Africa. We got this contract last year. Actually, these guys had been approaching me for quite some time, but I was not confident. And then I had to speak to my mentors a couple of times, and I actually did reject Bitfix a couple of times as well, because I think a part of me didn't understand the kind of opportunity I was getting. I was also scared that, okay, from being a very small company where I was just selling to individuals and malls, and now I have to deal with 120 stores in South Africa. Like, how do I do that? We had Shan was actually my mentor, and we spoke a lot about confidence. Whenever I had to go and speak to a buyer, I used to speak to her, and then she used to like motivate me, and I used to practice in front of the mirror, and then that's how I actually became confident. And then after that, it was very easy to actually like grow from there. And I remember I also had an issue because with the big guys, it's all about the profit margins. And then I felt like I needed the opportunity and I needed to grab whatever. So I actually learned through the program how can I actually negotiate with these people and how can I use it to my advantage. So although I was not able to increase the profit margins, but what I was able to do was I was able to ask them for sponsorships, which was in the form of grants, and then they bought me stock, and then I still invoiced them for that stock when I delivered. And then I was also able to negotiate MOQs. So I used to look at the profit margins that whenever I'm delivering, this is how much I actually lose when I'm making a delivery. But if I have this certain amount of quantity that I have to deliver, then that's how I can make a profit. So I actually tried to do the negotiation with the CSI people at Plumlink, but they were like, this is just beyond us. You have to speak to the CEO. And then again, I had to go back to what Sean had told me. I was like, go to the mirror. Like, Plumlink is a very big company.
Yeah.
Like, I visited some of the distribution centers. I was like, oh my word, this is huge. So I thought I had a big factory when I was like, I've got 100 square meter factory. But when I got there, I was like, yo, no, I have not done anything. So I was actually surprised that I was not intimidated by the CEO because of what I had learned, because everything actually starts with you and a lot of prayer as well. And then in terms of growing, I was able to talk to other buyers like Macro. I have things in the pipeline. But for me to achieve that, I had to have like my documents in order. And when I started, what I thought I had was a company profile. But then when I submitted it to a couple of buyers, then I would not get responses, and then I'll be like, but why am I not getting a response? And then when I was in the program, when we had a checklist of all the things that we need to have whenever we're making proposals, then I was like, let me relook this thing of a company profile, because most of the time when you approach buyers, they will ask you for your company profile, registration certificate, your BE certificate, and your VAT certificate. So I was like, I'm submitting everything, but why am I not getting a positive response? And like even worse, I already have like a record of supplying a couple of stores nationally, so they can already see that I've got the capacity. So why am I not getting a response? And then I decided to work on the company profile. And then once I worked on it the way we were taught how to do it, then I actually started getting responses and people were actually interested in the company profile. I think most of the time we take things for granted, especially if you've been in business for a very long time. With me, I was in business since April 2017. So I just felt like business proposal, company profile, I've got it. But then I had to come to this program, and then that's where I actually learned that you might think you actually know everything, but not really. And then when I started the program, it was just 2 of us in the company. Right now, I've got 6 employees, including myself. And when I started the program, before I had employees which were girls, and usually it was promoters. And then when I came to the program, I was like, you know what? I'm just fed up with employing females. They always feel a need that they should compete with me and so on. And then in the program, one of the requirements was that you employ, I think, 35% women. And then I was like, okay, this has put up with me again. Like, how do I handle this? But then I learned the importance of actually encouraging females. And then in that way, they don't feel like they are competing with you. Because I think the issue was I actually approached them as a boss, not as a person who is like working with them. So there is a boss, there is a leader. A boss just bosses, you know. And then I learned that you should actually encourage them by empowering them as women, also taking them to trainings and so on. And then they feel like they are part of the company. And then even the way they started addressing, whenever they are talking about the company, they'll be like, our company. I'm like, oh, so they feel like they are part of it. So I learned that we should actually empower them, and I think that 35% women thing really worked for me. And with women, they are nurturers. I've noticed that even with the company, even when I'm not around, they always find the solutions, and I'm like, how? But I almost didn't give these people an opportunity. Look at this now. So then you also get to identify yourself and your characteristics through the program, and you can see that, okay, you can be able to do this. And right now, I'm even able to send them out to attend trainings, because I felt like I was the one who needed to do everything. I felt like if I don't do it myself, then it will not be done correct. But then now I trust them more, because I just learned how to empower them. And then the marketing, you have to be like out there all the time. You know, I have a very awesome phone. I didn't know how to use it. And then we had a session, and then that guy just taught us how to use our cameras. So what I've been doing a lot lately is to do videos, but then there are, I think it's called hyper something, where it goes very fast and then everybody can see everything that I do. Like, I've been getting a good response from that, and then that has also increased my sales on macro, because we've got these gadgets in our hands, but because we have not been trained, then we do not know how to use it. And then to the people who are joining the program, I would highly recommend that you like attend as many sessions as possible. With me, back then, my schedule was very tight during my PhD at UKZN, and I decided that, you know what, with this program, you just need to block out the day. It doesn't matter who says what. Even with my supervisor, when she needed to have a meeting with me, I just told her not on Wednesdays, because I really felt lost if I just missed one session, and then I would feel very lost. I think I missed 2 sessions, and then even Shan can testify, I attended all of them because I just missed 2, and I felt like I was very lost. So it was very important. And also try to implement what you have learned in the program. Some things feel like it is just too far from me, and then you feel like, no, I cannot do that now. And then later you realize that, you know, you can actually do it step by step. Because I remember I needed ISO 9001. I still don't have it right now, but what I did was I went to CEDA and then asked them to help me with the implementation. So we are at least doing things right in the factory. We have got a manual, like with most of the time, I just ask them, can you please do dishwashing liquid? And then I've got a whiteboard in the factory. Then I'll go and write down the formula. And then if it's not straight, then you'll find that where they were supposed to add 3 kgs, they added 2 kgs because they thought that it was actually the bottom figure. So simple things like having a manual in the factory, it is something that you can start with as a small company. And then by the time you get to the quotations that scare us, you'll be like, yeah, net 110,000 for a certificate, but at least let me start practicing it. And then by the time I get to those funds, then at least I know that I'm doing things right. Thank you.